Welcome back, Paul Catalina and Garrett Ross. Okay, here we go. This is the result of the wardrobe change. Part of the college collection here. Hold on, I got to get away from the microphone. Arnie.
Black Knights in the house.
Yeah.
I like
it.
that.
Very smooth, yes. So, and again, my dad was in the Army. That's why I picked this one. So
Awesome.
They're adding more schools. Like they're increasing their college collection. As a matter of fact, literally, Garrett from Streaker Sports got an email from them saying that they're going to be dropping vintage collegiate collections for Georgetown, Nova, Delaware, and St. Joe's.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I really want, I hope they have a good Georgetown one. I'd get that.
Oh, I went to Georgetown when I was 16. And it's like one of the coolest. Like
Georgetown's cool. It's got a cool campus.
It's got a cool campus. It's like old, like it's old. You know, and you imagine 1996, it felt old, you know. And then, like, I got to, like, walk down the steps that were on The Exorcist, which, unfortunately, that day smelled like piss. But
you'll get that in D.C. You can get that.
It's D.C.
You
like,
get that.
And
cool city, but you get that.
But yeah, I was at the National Young Leaders Conference, which is like the Model UN on steroids.
Okay.
So let me tell you about this trip. And again, Streaker Sports, I'm getting Emery the link right now so he can post it. I thought I'd sent it to him earlier, and he was like, no, you didn't. And then I was like, shut up, I got you a free shirt. And he's like, you owe me a shirt. And I was like, okay. He's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know when you thought that you could tell me what to do.
Yeah, you can do that.
This has never been the dynamic of this relationship. So
he gets away with that. He's the favorite.
Yeah,
he's the favorite.
I should have maybe told him that. Like now he's got me over a barrel a little bit. He got me over a barrel. Yeah. So, anyway, the National Leaders Conference, and we're going to keep talking about sports movies in a second, but so it's all rising juniors and seniors in high school. Mm-hmm. And you go to D.C., we stayed at American University in the dorms. Yep. And one day you go to the National Press Club. I get to meet Helen Thomas.
Oh, cool.
And Tony Snow. And then a guy from Reuters who was really, I read his stuff all the time after that, and I can't remember his name now because it's been a long time. Mm-hmm. Almost 30 years, God in heaven. But Helen Thomas had asked every president since I think Eisenhower a question. So it was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And the first question too. And then you got to go meet, you got to go to your senator's office. If you got to meet your senator, it was kind of a stroke of luck. But I'd met ours because his office was, or one of our senators. Mm-hmm. So I got to meet one of ours after that because he came to my high school a couple times. Connie Mack, who was the son of the legendary Connie Mack, that was the baseball manager. Mm-hmm. And then I got to meet my representative, Porter Goss, who then wound up being the head of the CIA under George Bush, which I had that picture. I don't know, my mom probably still has it. But when my dad had the picture of me and the other kid from our district that were there with Porter Goss. And he thought, like, when he got named the head of the CIA, he would show it to people like, here's Paul with the head of the CIA.
Oh, that's awesome.
He was not the head of the CIA when I met him. He was a lowly.
He got there because he met you, Paul.
Maybe it was.
That's what it was. He met you, and that's what it was.
Yeah. More politicians should want to meet me. I'm the new I said nice things about Trump to get you a job. That's all you need to do now to get one of these high level jobs.
Better have the dirt and the money.
Yeah, I guess
dirt
so.
And the money.
I guess so. But yeah, so I did that, but you get to get you do like a model UN thing, you do like a model Congress thing, and for a little political history nerd like me.
Oh, you were living it up.
Oh, it was so great. Plus there were girls. You know, it was great. Here's the thing. Plus there were girls and smart ones.
Yeah, I was about to say they had to be
smart ones.
These weren't dumb girls.
Who you didn't have to be embarrassed about being smart around. It was a big thing for me. It was a big thing. It was a nice preview of college.
Okay.
Because in high school, like everybody who's smart almost has to pretend like they're, well, at least in the 90s.
Yeah, you had to fit in.
It's changed now because everybody knows how to use a computer. But in the 90s, you kind of had to keep a lid on your smarts.
Yep.
It really was a stupid thing that you would be like, you know, like, hey, don't be too smart.
Yeah.
You'll be like Anthony Michael Hall in The Breakfast Club. You know, don't do that. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be Emilio Estevez. You don't want to be second, by the way, Emilio Estevez
there we go.
reference today.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah. We need a graphic. Every time I find a way to pull Emilio Estevez into the show, we just flash his face up on the screen. But yeah, so when it came to like girls, like even though if like you had a smart girlfriend, like when you two were in public, you had to pretend to be like 5 to 10% dumber than you were.
You had to dumb it down and be the
Yeah. That's why you have to walk in both worlds. That's why, like, you know, football player Paul doesn't tell you that he met Porter Goss.
No.
You know, student body president Paul does.
Absolutely.
And I was both those things. But like it was, so I was in heaven. I was in heaven. And the thing is that like it did wonders for my self-esteem because you think that even though you have friends that you're the only person who likes this stuff. And then when you find out like, no, there's other people who are interested in how the country works and, you know, how things are supposed to be. So I would recommend everyone get to do that, especially now because, you know, I don't think we know as much about civics as we used to.
I don't think we know much of anything.
Yeah, we don't know anything. We have everything at our fingertips and we know nothing.
That was the plan.
Well, I guess so.
Just leave it at that.
Yeah. So also I think the nudity really threw us off because like, here's the thing. If I'm in a library doing a research paper and I like have a thought where I'm like, man, I'd like to see a naked chick right now. There's nothing I can do about it back in the day, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, like the best I can do is like go get an art book and hope that they got some nudes in there.
For a little nip slip.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing I can do. You know, it's not like I can go to the librarian and be like, hey, where's the porn in here? You know, I can't do that. Like, that's not a thing. You'll get arrested. Yeah. But when all of a sudden, you know, like you'd be sitting there doing, like you could be doing something good. You're like, all right, you know, I'm sitting here working on my novel, boom, 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 you know, or working on this research paper about this, da-da-da-da. And then you have that little moment of like, you know, where your mind escapes you.
Yeah.
You start thinking about, oh, man.
That you've lost 10 minutes.
Well, I mean, then you're just like, well, there you go.
Then you shut the
It's
computer down.
erased whatever productive thought you had.
Yeah.
So I think that's more to blame than anything else. I'm not even on a moral high ground about it. I'm just telling you that like science would prove that.
Yeah.
Like if I took this to a university and I said I would like to research the effects of, you know, like you make everybody do this like we used to have to do, where you go to a fucking card catalog and do all this, or I want them to have to sit here and like do it how they do now, where you just ask Google, like, hey, Google, tell me about the Cuban Missile Crisis. And then it just gives you everything you could possibly need. You don't have to do any real work on it. And then while you're doing it, how many times do you veer off and do something that's Instagram, Twitter, nude stuff, like all like, you know, you have that thought of like, oh, hey, you know what? I'm going to watch one episode of Cobra Kai while I'm in the middle of this because I can do it right here. I don't have to move.
Yeah.
I can just go, boom, Cobra Kai, and done. I promise you, more productive research done card catalog way because you just had to go like...
You had no distraction.
Well, the only way out was through.
True.
Right? So the only way out was through. So you had to go and look things up. Emery and Andrew don't even know what a card catalog is.
Nope.
They're in their 20s. They've never lived in a world where you had to go to a card catalog and, you know, it was, you know, AA to A, you know, R. Mm-hmm. And then you pull it all the way out and you get to the end of the ARs and realize they ran out of space. So you look through all those ARs to realize that like AR ARO is in the next one. So then you got to put it down and you got to do it again. Then you have to get that. You have to take that card.
And they smell terrible.
Yeah. And then you take that card, you go into like another place and you walk around and you're looking for this number. And then sometimes, if you're 5'7", the book is up there. So then you have to either like find a stool or go ask the librarian like, hey, I'm short. Can you get the stool for me? I can't find it.
That sounds personal. I feel like that's happened to you before.
Yeah, a lot. I spend a lot of time in libraries. So yeah, no, I do. You saw, like, I used the F-bomb when I was talking about card catalogs because it
struck a nerve.
Yeah. It sucked. Oh, here's the other thing you had to do. The microfiche. You remember the microfiche with the newspapers?
I don't know if I remember that one.
So if you needed to quote a newspaper article for something, so say like you're doing a paper on history and there's a New York Times article about this thing. So what you would do is you would go in, you would get this little thing, you'd put it on, was like a flat overhead projector. Essentially, same kind of technology. Yeah. And then you would roll through it until you got to, so you would go get New York Times, February 10th, 1981. And then you would have to roll through the whole paper until you found it. And then you'd have to like move the thing and line it up. And then it would take a Xerox of it. And very rarely could you get the whole, because of how newspapers are laid out, could you get the whole article you needed to read? So you'd have to do multiple, like 4 pages of what was ultimately a 750-word article about this news event. And so, yeah, it's way harder. But guess what? After all that, I knew it.
Yeah,
I learned it. I knew it. Now I just, hey, Google, who was president during the progressive era? It'll just tell me.
Right.
It won't. Yeah.
You don't have to do your research on it.
I don't have to learn it. I can just be like, oh, okay.
It tells me.
That's how it was. So, but I don't learn it. I don't have to, and I don't have to commit it to memory because Google's committed it to memory. I just have to read it then and prove somebody wrong. That's all we have to do. All right, let's finish we're not going to talk about Bo Davis.
All right.
I'm not into it. But I finish up with the sports movies. I think I've talked myself into Hoosiers as a top 5 movie. And I'm not doing it just for Gene Hackman.
Okay.
I think I'm doing it because I think most people who are not movie critics would view it as a top 5 sports movie.
I think if you're not even a sports fan, it's one of those rare movies where if you're not a sports fan and you bring it up, you've either seen it or you know about it. It's got the where it can kind of transcend genres or people in general. I think that's what makes it unique. Whereas some of them, if you're not like a sports fan, you're not going to go out of your way to see it. I feel like that's what made Hoosiers different. Was you didn't necessarily have to be a basketball fan to enjoy it. You kind of transcended multiple people and different areas and facets of life. Yeah. So it's gonna make the top 5. Okay.
It's made the top 5, and because of that, and because of The Longest Yard, I will warn you, Major League got pushed out.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with this, but okay.
I mean, here's the thing. I like one baseball movie better than Major League.
That's fair. And you stand on baseball has the best overall.
Oh, baseball by far. Like, I actually think that if you did, like, if you had to do it of just rank these, like, which sport, like, baseball by far has the most good sports movies in it.
Okay.
Because baseball movies are very rarely about one guy. They're about team. Like, Hoosiers is good because it's like Hoosiers, Jimmy Chitwood's he's kind of the central player on it, but it's not about him. It's about him learning to be like, it's about him and Gene Hackman and his dad, like all these things, learning how to make this team great.
Right.
In the same sense that like Coach Carter is a movie, like you get stories about all the players on the team, right? You get stories about all of them. Then, so it's not really about one guy. And so baseball movies, you know, like Field of Dreams is just kind of really about Ray Kinsella and Shoeless Joe, but it does a really good job of like telling how baseball and like the culture of baseball affected the United States.
Right.
You know, why it was
the
national
watch Hardball?
What?
Did you ever watch Hardball?
Oh yeah, with Keanu. Yeah, it's really good.
Where would that be anywhere in there?
I mean, like it's. Let's see. Let me do top. Let me just rattle off in no particular order baseball movies that I think are elite. Bull Durham.
Yes.
Major League.
Yes.
Field of Dreams.
Yes.
A Perfect Game.
I don't know that I've seen that.
That's the third Kevin Costner baseball where he throws a perfect game. League of Their Own.
Yeah, that's good.
League of Their Own is fantastic. So funny. Bad News Bears.
Yep.
Pride of the Yankees about Lou Gehrig. The Natural. I can't believe I didn't say The Natural. Yeah, Hardball's probably in there. I mean, I'm a little partial to Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. Sandlot?
Sandlot. Oh, yeah. Sandlot's above Hardball.
Sandlot in there.
Yeah, Sandlot's probably above several of those.
Oh, yeah.
Sandlot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm partial to Rookie of the Year. Although, I mean, it's not the best, but...
That's up there with, like, Angels in the outfield. It's just,
I mean, Rookie of the Year, Little Big League, Angels in the outfield. That's your good, like, little trilogy of...
Like the children
if
bring you in.
If your kid liked The Sandlot, he'll like these movies.
Correct.
You can let him watch these baseball movies before you let him get into Major League and Bull Durham.
It's like your Little League working your way up.
Yeah, because like, you know, Bull Durham and Major League are R-rated movies. You don't want your kid who likes baseball to watch those just yet.
Yeah.
You want him to learn that baseball players are disgusting animals later on.
Right. Right.
Like later on. And I say that baseball players with love. With love. But I will tell you, of all the sports, baseball guys are the most disgusting.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Do you like Moneyball?
Moneyball, yes. Moneyball also very.
I haven't seen that one either.
Oh yeah, really good, really good. The only thing I don't like about Moneyball is that there's like this generation of people who like have seen Moneyball and think it's this great sports movie.
I think that they were successful with it
They
or something.
think that like Moneyball worked for the long term.
Right.
They missed the point of it. Billy Beane is so brilliant because he made it work for them for as long as he could.
Yeah.
And then eventually you can't Moneyball a bad owner.
No.
Which John Fisher is. And they painted a much nicer picture of John Fisher in that movie than I ever would. But yeah, I think... Yeah, that one. I mean, so like baseball has a lot. Football, I think has the second most, and then basketball the third most.
Probably
because it is really hard to make a triumphant team movie about basketball because quite often you have to focus on
one or two players,
one guy, right? So it's hard. That's why Hoosiers stands out a little bit more because like he got games about one guy. You know. Blue Chips is about
two guys.
Yeah, and Nick Nolte. It's really more about Nick Nolte.
Yeah,
it's more about the coach and like, you know.
God, that's so good. He got games good.
Yeah, one guy. You know. So, yeah. Space Jam's about one guy.
Pretty much. Yeah, Bugs Bunny.
No. So yeah, it's harder, which is why I think like White Men Can't Jump might be my second favorite basketball movie, just because
that's different.
It's
got
so
a different,
different.
unique. Yeah,
it's so different and it's so funny.
it is very good.
It's so funny. Wesley Snipes in two of these big time movies, Major League and
yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I didn't like Major League 2 that much, because
They didn't
no
have
offense to Omar Epps, but that's not Willie Mays Hayes.
No, it's not. And I love Omar Epps. He had a hell of a run with sports movies, but yeah, he's not. He did it.
Yeah, and he'll eventually do the Mike Tomlin biopic.
Yeah, yes, he will.
But
doppelganger.
My Willie Mays Hayes, hit like Mays, run like Hayes.
Yep.
Is Wesley Snipes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what's his name? With the little shrine guy.
Oh
my God.
Serrano, Pedro Serrano.
Yeah, Pedro Serrano.
Yeah, he's the Allstate guy. And he was also the president on 24, I think. And he's been in a lot of other things. I see him, but all I think of is like, I give you rum.
He's running around the bases with this.
Hats for bats. Keep bats warm. I
love it.
Yeah. Up your butt, Joe Boo. So. Mr. 3000, Bernie Mac.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. He has to go back and get one hit.
Yep.
He can't do it. Yeah. Well, yeah. So, yeah, baseball has like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm leaving some out that are all really, the rookie's really good. The rookie I really enjoyed. So yeah. But yeah, so I think Hoosiers, because it's by far the best team basketball movie.
Right.
Yeah, I think it has to, because
'cause
it did something that most basketball movies are not able to do. And part of it is like, you can't focus on a guy whose like skill is cleaning up the boards all that much.
Right.
You have to focus on the star or the guy who's been supplanted by the star. Like, those are usually the things. Or the guy who was not a star and then became a werewolf and became the star, which is the plot of Teen Wolf. Highly underrated, I mean, it's obviously a top 15 Michael J. Fox movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's behind all the Back to the Futures and Casualties of War and The Secret of My Success and Doc Hollywood.
Oh, Michael J.
Most
Fox.
of his TV work, but but yeah. So, The Frighteners, maybe. Have you ever seen that one?
I don't think I've seen that one.
Frighteners is an interesting one.
It sounds interesting.
The Frighteners is one of those. It's got Michael J. Fox in it, and it doesn't know the whole time whether it's going to be this really interesting, cool ghost movie or terrible. Like you watch it and you'll watch it from beginning to end, and then you watch it and go, "Well, that was a movie.
It was something.
It was something." It's like it's not unenjoyable, but it's kind of like, it's weird,
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So I think we've gone through it, and so now, and I needed this because Smokey gave me a really challenging job today, and I didn't think he would. I didn't think that would send me into such a tailspin. And part of me thinks that I should do top 5 sports movies and then top 5 Gene Hackman movies. Ooh. Because I do have, I think we do. You know what? Maybe we do that.
Let's do that Thursday, Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll do top 5 sports movies today, and then tomorrow will be Hackman movies.
Okay.
Which I'll just tell you, we'll shoot it tomorrow because I need to really work this out. I need to get boards and string and like move it around. I need to maybe call some people.
Yeah.
Deep
investigation.
Yeah. Because he did. I mean, there are people who are watching this right now that'll tell you the Royal Tannenbaums is amazing and hilarious, but it's a Wes Anderson film. So you either love that kind of filmmaking, or you're like, I don't get this. This is weird. And if you're one of the people who I just said, I don't get this. This is weird. That's fine.
Yeah. It's not for you.
It's not for, it doesn't have to be. It is like all of his movies are weird.
Is he the one that did that Once Upon a Time in Las Vegas or whatever with Johnny Depp? Or what is that one? Anyway.
No,
like
that's
that really weird ass movie Johnny Depp did where he's in the desert.
Oh, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
There we go.
No.
Okay,
That's not. That's not.
okay.
Wes Anderson did the Royal Tenenbaums, and he did Rushmore.
Okay.
And movies like that. They're really quirky, weird movies. There's what's the one I love so much? The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Okay.
I love the Grand Budapest Hotel. But you either love Wes Anderson and the way he the quirky way he makes movies and the way that he writes things and shoots things, or you'll watch it and you'll go, weird. You know? It's all very really dry humor. There's not a lot of
kind of like Barry.
It's even drier.
Okay.
Even drier. It's, the people, the way they deliver things, and yeah, it's the Royal Tenenbaums might be peak Wes Anderson in the way it is. And then the one he did right after that was with Bill Murray, where it's the Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. And so they're really weird movies, but I like them, He's from Austin. He's a Texan.
I like weird stuff.
So yeah, you'll watch it and here's the thing. Have a gummy and watch it, and you'll really get it.
I had a teacher do that to me at high school one time. She's like, "Here, watch this the movie of the monkeys. Just go." I was like
the monkeys, hey, we're the monkeys.
Yeah. She goes, "I know you like to have a good time on the weekend. Watch this afterwards." And I was like, "Okay." It was interesting. It was interesting.
Did you watch the series?
I watched the whole movie. Yes.
But they had a series, and they would
I didn't
run
watch the
in
series.
a door.
I just watched the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, when I was a kid, I loved the monkeys. I thought it was the coolest thing. I didn't realize until I was older that they weren't a real band.
They weren't?
They were created for the show.
Oh, I see. You just blew my mind. I did not know that.
No, they weren't. When I was older, I was oh, they were. And then, of course,
was it a play on the Beatles or something?
Yes, that was the whole
Makes
thing,
sense.
to make fun of the Beatles, I guess. Yeah,
okay, I get that.
Yeah. Mike Nesmith, Peter Tork, Mickey Dolenz, Davy Jones.
Yep.
The fact that I still know that. The fact that I knew that at once at all, I should tell you a lot about me. So, a retired stockbroker said, y'all left out North Dallas 40, Moneyball, and Drafty. You did say that.
I did say North Dallas 40.
And Emery did say Moneyball.
Yep.
I will push back on Draft Day. Draft Day is a very good movie until he
Is
just...
that the Al Pacino one?
No, that's Any Given Sunday. Also really good.
Yeah.
My name is Willie Beeman. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Draft Day. Here's the thing. Draft Day is a really good movie until the end when he somehow gets all the draft picks he traded away back. That's the thing that happens.